Hi everyone. We are going to present our project PixelPro with my team members Manasi and Siddhi, and I'm Juby. And our project focuses on enhancing the reading experience by integrating physical and digital elements. We are focusing on user needs and balancing emotional connection with convenience. So our presentation is structured around 7 sections. We will do the project introduction, including the research ideation. Then we walk through the conception, design, and prototype. Next, we will present evaluation methods and our resource and reflection. And finally, we will wrap up with our lesson learned, limitation, and conclusion. So moving on to the introduction. In our digital era, the landscape of reading has transformed with ebooks and digital platforms become more common. Yet many readers still prefer physical books for their tactile qualities and emotional connections. So these preferences highlight a gap between the digital convenience and the sensory of traditional books. Our project, PixelPro, explores this divide, aiming to innovate at the intersection of physical and digital reading experiences. So our main goal with this project was to find a better way of both worlds between physical books and ebooks. So moving on to the objectives of the study. The core study were to deeply understand how people read across different formats, physical books, ebooks, audiobooks, and more. We wanted to explore what works well and what does not for readers in each medium. This allows us to identify the pain points and uncover opportunities to optimize the reading experience. Therefore, our goal was to find the sweet spot where digital and physical reading can coexist and complement each other. We wanted to integrate the strengths of digital and physical reading platforms, ensuring they complement each other and provide a seamless experience for all readers. So in our project, we start our research with literature review by looking at how reading habits have changed over time, moving from physical books to digital media. We saw that advancements like the Amazon Kindle have made digital reading more accessible, but these devices often do not provide the same emotional and physical experience as traditional books. To build our research, we examined different products that try to combine the digital and physical aspects of reading. This includes devices like the Kindle, ebook apps, hybrid ebooks, and even smart notebooks. By studying the strengths and weaknesses of those existing solutions, we were able to identify areas where we could innovate and enhance the reader's engagement. To test our theories, we create 2 user personas affinity mapping that guide our ideation process. To go even deeper with our research, we interviewed with 13 participants one-on-one and also had 1 focus group interview to get their insights. Through this conversation, we learned that people's preferences for physical versus digital books are very personal, based on their lifestyle, habits, and emotional connections. While many still strongly prefer the sensory experience of physical books, they also recognize the practical benefits of digital formats, like being able to adjust the text and easily carry multiple books. So this shows us that what readers really want is a solution that combines the best of both physical and digital reading without compromising the core experience. So moving on to the key insights. First, we learned that whether someone prefers physical or digital books comes down to personal choice. Their habits and lifestyle shape what medium works best. And still many people were curious about the hybrid options that blend both formats. This shows people are open to new ideas in this space, while we will incorporate new technology. The reading experience itself comes first. So as for the brainstorming and the idea grouping, our brainstorming process was extensive. We came up with all sorts of ideas for enhancing the physical book experience through digital integration. We grouped these concepts into 5 main categories to help make sense of them. We used an idea filtering rubric, evaluating each concept on 3 main criteria: creativity, innovation, and feasibility. So based on this, we create an idea book where we chose 3 feasible ideas and 3 invisible ideas. The feasible ideas we chose were digital book overlays, interactive AI companions, and hybrid book platform. And I will walk through these three ideas in the following slides. We also identified several exciting but currently invisible ideas, including the haptic feedback page, biometric storytelling, and AR integration. For instance, the haptic feedback page will allow readers to feel textures and sensations as they turn page, but the technology to integrate the haptic feedback into the page effectively is not yet available. So based on the ideas we brainstormed in our idea book, we created 6 different storyboard concepts. 3 were feasible and that we could potentially develop further, and 3 were infeasible. We list 2 of them as below. So moving on to the 3 ideation of conceptual design. Here is our 3 ideation of conceptual design. The first one, digital book overlay. This idea talks about the projecting any digital book onto a physical book via AR. Users can interact with this book, turn page, and take notes, just like you do in a book, but this will be saved on a cloud in an app in a digital format. And the second idea is hybrid book platform. It's a platform where readers can switch between physical and digital reading. And the third idea, the interactive AI companion. It is like a buddy who is always there to talk about books, suggest new ones based on what you like, and help you find your next reading. Each idea has its features, and we list main features and functions from these 3 feasible ideas and integrate them into one. Therefore, our final idea is PixelPro, and we will walk through our final idea as the following slide. So now I will pass it to Manasi.
Thanks, Juby. So our design philosophy centers on simplicity and clarity. The interface layout was planned to be straightforward, guiding users through their digital journey without overwhelming them. To enrich user engagement, we decided to incorporate dynamic visuals and interactive elements that encourage exploration and interaction. Accessibility and inclusivity was an important factor. Mainly, we considered the colorblind people while designing the application. Our app and projection supports customization based on user requirements to enhance user comfort and experience. For task analysis, users start by creating a profile to tailor their reading experience, including genre preference or visual settings like zoom and font size. Next, they explore the library to find and open their book of choice with options to save favorites or start the projection. The profile allows for further customization and access to reading metrics, enhancing users' engagement. With everything finally set, they begin the projection, adjusting it with intuitive gestures and tools for an interactive reading session right on the pages of their physical book. The task analysis helped us to identify every action required to achieve the goal, revealing potential pain points and opportunities for streamlining. This information architecture diagram outlines the structure of a user interface for digital book projection. From the selected profile, users navigate the homepage, library, saved books, or profile settings. The library allows book searching and saving, while saved books facilitates quick access and projection. Profile settings offer customization of projection modes, brightness, and angles, ensuring a personalized reading experience. The information architecture diagram helped us to organize all actions we plan to have into a logical structure, defining where features should live within the app's ecosystem for intuitive navigation and interaction. This is kind of a rough sketch to understand how this is going to work. We can have a book like blank pages, and we designed a projection device that could project any book on the physical book, and the entire projection is gesture based, so it has its own gesture based features. And this is an application where they can choose a book, choose a projection mode, choose profiles, and then demo for the projection. So for a storyboard, we created a story where it begins with a modern frustration, the longing for the texture and presence of a paper book in a digitized world. As we pivot to our solution, we introduce a device that promises the tactile engagement of a physical book with the practicality of digital access. Our journey culminates in a transformative experience where our reader interacts with a book that can be touched and read digitally, showcasing a seamless blend of tradition and technology. For low fidelity wireframes, we have the home screen where we have some placeholder elements indicating where our content modules will go and ensuring users can navigate easily. We have shown the search functionality where it's easy to quickly find books that they are interested in, which will eventually showcase the book covers. Moving on, the third screen demonstrates a book detail page where image of the book cover will go, and we also have the book titles and a brief synopsis. The fourth screen is a glimpse into the user's personal library where they'll have access to saved books, reading history, and settings. On the bottom, we also have an example of how the book will be projected alongside the text, enhancing the interactive reading experience. Each wireframe serves a specific purpose and aligns with our goal to create a cohesive and user-friendly interface across all devices. These low-fidelity wireframes were just a beginning. So, to talk about the high fidelity wireframes, with the reference to our task analysis, storyboards, and low fidelity mocks, we created a sitemap that would act as a blueprint to our high fidelity mocks. We tried to identify any loopholes or missing pieces in the links to step by step improve this sitemap. We created a theme guideline where our icons were designed to be intuitive, ensuring user-friendly navigation. For text, we used Inter for its crispness in UI elements and PT Serif for a comfortable reading experience. Turning to our color palette, the vibrant red is our primary accent, while green and blue to balance the energy and calmness. The pastel shades add softness to our design, and our essential black and white are the backgrounds for everything. So, these were our guiding principles that shape every aspect of our design: consistency and standards to maintain a familiar interface across devices, using industry standard UI UX practices. This means whether our user switches from a tablet or a projector, the learning curve remains flat. Every interaction from page turns to setting adjustments is met with immediate feedback. It's not just about the action, but ensuring the users feel the app responds to them, especially when they are not directly interacting with their screen. Whether it's a connection status or a projection or just a current page, they are on user control and freedom. This is where personalization comes into play. Users can adjust themes, font sizes, and layouts. It's their reading space, and we respect that by offering control and affordances and signifiers. We ensure that buttons look clickable, sliders are easily adjustable, and all design elements are intuitive. If it looks like it can be swiped, tapped, or clicked, it can be. Accessibility sits at the heart of our design. We are committed to an inclusive app, which means voice commands for free hands-free handling, text-to-speech, and high contrast modules for visual impairments. So just to show you a demo of how the app will work. This is Ria. She's trying to study for a test from an ebook shared by a professor, but she's very frustrated because she's not able to highlight, note down anything easily. She shares her frustration with her friends who suggest her the PixelPro application, which she could use to project an e-book on a physical book and use it like any other tangible book and leverage the features of an e-book. She uses the PixelPro app to connect to a small projector device and places it on her book. This projector projects the book she selected on a blank book. She can now turn pages, see more content and videos using the projection. She can highlight content she likes, see definitions, add notes, or write more content. She can customize the book according to her choice. She can save her notes and new words that she has learned that will be visible on her app to view later. This is Ria. So to go through the app in detail, this is the landing page where you can see the profile, some advertisements, then books suggested by the applications, by the readings that the user has done before, and some popular books that are suggested by the application. This is how the projection works. Once you select a book, you can see how much you have read, and you choose the reading icon where it gives you an option to choose from the ebook or the projection mode. Once you choose the projection mode, you can also choose whether you want a color or a black and white projection. And then comes the remote control device where you can start the projection, and then it connects to the device that we have designed, and I'll show you ahead. And then it projects on a physical book that you have. This is the library where all of the books that the user has been reading get saved along with the progress. Then we also have dictionary. So when you are on the projection mode, you can save the words that you have learned into the dictionary, and as well as save the quotes from the books as well. This is the profile page where you can see the reading status as to what kind of books you have read, for how long you have read, as well as recently books that you have recently liked. So all of the pages that we showed were before the testing, and after the testing was done, we made a few changes. And this was the projector device that we designed. This projector device has a power button on the top and two lenses to project on two different pages. We also have a clip to hold the book from the bottom so that it's placed correctly with the book that you have chosen. Now over to Siddhi.
So with the evaluation method, the first method that we used was heuristic evaluation test plan, where the purpose of our heuristic evaluation is to critically evaluate our prototype with an expert's eye for usability, user experience, and compliance with the 10 heuristic principles that guide intuitive design, which Mansi just told you about. Moving to our test environment, we emphasized a realistic setting where our participants were using their own devices in a controlled environment. This setup is pivotal because it helps us observe authentic user behavior, and our recording features will capture all interaction and feedback. In our testing process, we deployed two experts to mimic typical user tasks. They meticulously documented all the issues encountered, categorized them with by severity, and suggested actionable improvements. Our test deliverables were a detailed report outlining the specific issues found, which heuristic principles were not followed, and how we can enhance our design. The test schedule was tight, with 1 week span covering planning, testing, and reporting. This demands efficiency and focus from our team. And lastly, we had limited access to user groups with insufficient time. Next, please. So we had a system checklist, which had exhaustive list of questions designed to evaluate the system's usability. We categorized our heuristic into several areas, each crucially for an intuitive user experience. This evaluation checklist helped us gain a better intuitive and better understanding of our usability improvements in our system, which were then categorized on the basis of their criticality, that is, low, medium, and high. Next, please. Yeah. Similar to the heuristic evaluation, with a slight difference in the method, we conducted the think aloud testing method. To start with the process, we first drafted out a plan. Our primary aim here was to understand how users interact with the new prototype, and to identify any usability issues, because it's not just about what users do, but also about what they think while they interact with our product. For our test environment, we conducted sessions in a controlled settings. We had chosen around 8 participants to use our device, which had screen recording features that enabled us to capture every interaction. The setting mirrored real world scenarios, giving us authentic data on how our product performs in the hands of our users. The test process was comprehensive. We first began by briefing our participants on the research objectives. We then specified the task and encouraged our participants to verbalize their thoughts throughout the interaction. it's very crucial that we capture the why behind the what. Looking at the test deliverables, we were focused on gathering several key metrics. These include the time taken to complete task, any problems encountered, satisfaction levels, and distinguishing between success and failure in task completion. Our test schedule was well defined, including participant recruitment, detailed planning, the actual think aloud session, and finally reporting. It's a timeline that ensures rough thoroughness and quality in feedback. And of course, we must be mindful of the test risk. So we were looking at limited access to participants, which could affect our data diversity, a limited scope of feedback due to the controlled environment, and the potential of inadequate expertise, which we mitigate through training and pilot sessions. Next, please. After conducting the think aloud testing sessions, all the data that was recorded were then converted and coded into an Excel sheet. This Excel sheet has 8 columns for user ID system that the user is interacting with, task given to complete, time taken for each task to complete, the problems that were identified, feedbacks that we received from our users, categorizing each completed task as success or failure, along with the satisfaction rating at the end. Next, we looked into the results and the reflection, where as we pivot to the findings from our recent usability study, we have identified several key problems across different aspects of our application. Starting with consistency, we observed that inconsistent iconography confused our users. In terms of clarity, the absence of text descriptions alongside icons muddied the waters, making it difficult for users to quickly grasp their meanings. Moving to accessibility, which is paramount, we found that our icon design and size did not meet the needs of our users with accessibility requirements. Text, a screen back, please. Yeah. Text clarity was also compromised, affecting readability, especially for users with visual impairments. And lastly, user friendliness. So, our mission is to make our app as approachable as possible, but complex iconography has detracted from the goals. Next, please. So here we have a before and after view demonstrating the iterative design process we have engaged in based on user feedback from our think aloud sessions and heuristic evaluation. So in the middle screen, we made few adjustments. After the redesign, the same user acknowledged the clarity of receiving options after interaction, but still pondered if there was a way to streamline the experience further. Through this iteration, we have not only improved the clarity of the icons, but also streamlined the user journey, making the experience more intuitive and efficient. Each iteration brings us closer to an interface that aligns perfectly with user experience and their needs. So here originally our interface was crowded. An array of buttons surrounded the main navigation panel. Our users felt overwhelming. It was a clear signal that our design was not as intuitive as we had aimed for. So in response, we simplified the interface. We introduced sliders for fine tuning, which provided a more concise and precise control mechanism over the app's function. This particular change was positively received as indicated by the user's acknowledgement of their utility for adjustments. Next, please. Here, initially, users encountered a design that, while functional, presented certain obstacles. For instance, the feedback as articulated by a user questioned the clarity of the UI. Our latest interface, shown on the right side, demonstrates our response to this feedback. We have incorporated a more discrete option to remove a word indicated by the word by the remove word tooltip, which simplifies the visual representation and enhances user control. We have also resized the speaker icon, mitigating its previous distraction. Now, each element serves a purpose without competing for attention, creating a harmonious balance within the user interface. Next, please. Here, initially, there was an exception of more interactive options. The profile page seemed straightforward, but it lacked the intuitive touchpoints users were looking for. The interface has then transitioned from a static display of liked books to an active catalog of books you read. This not only customizes the experience but also brings a sense of ownership and personal history to the forefront. Next, please. Yeah. So, as we reach the conclusion of a presentation, it's important to acknowledge both the limitations we have faced and the valuable lessons we have learned throughout this journey. So, firstly, we must consider the limitations that have shaped our process. The constraints of current technology posed challenges to the depth of immersive experiences we aim to test. Additionally, we recognize the importance of a diverse participant pool. Extending it could further enhance the representativeness and inclusivity of our data. The iterative nature of testing underscored the need for continuous refinement to in response to user feedback and technological process, and involving domain experts in future heuristic evaluations will allow for more nuanced insights into the specific aspects of usability. We have also gained a deeper understanding yeah, we have also gained a deeper understanding of the delicate balance required between innovation and user friendliness. So, user feedback wasn't just helpful, it was instrumental in evolving our prototype. So, each iteration brought us closer to the user centered design we strive for. Next, please. So, thank you for joining, and